Harry?
I saw my dad.
What?
He sent the Dementors away. I saw him across the lake.
Listen, Harry, they've captured Sirius. Any minute, the Dementors are going to perform the kiss.
You mean they're gonna kill him?
No, it's worse. Much worse. They're going to suck out his soul. Headmaster, you've got to stop them. They've got the wrong man.
It's true, sir. Sirius is innocent.
It's Scabbers who did it.
Scabbers?
He's my rat, sir. He's not really a rat. Well, he was a rat. He was my brother Percy's rat. But then they gave him an owl.
The point is, we know the truth. Please believe us.
I do, Miss Granger. But I'm sorry to say the word of 3 13-year-old wizards will convince few others. A child's voice, however honest and true, is meaningless to those who've forgotten how to listen. A mysterious thing, time. Powerful, and when meddled with, dangerous. Sirius Black is in the topmost cell of the Dark Tower. You know the laws, Miss Granger. You must not be seen. And you would do well, I feel, to return before this last chime. If not, the consequences are too ghastly to discuss. If you succeed tonight, more than one innocent life may be spared. 3 turns should do it, I think. Oh, by the way, when in doubt, I find retracing my steps to be a wise place to begin. Good luck.
What the bloody hell was that all about?
Sorry, Ron, but seeing as you can't walk.
What just happened? Where's Ron?
7:30. Where were we at 7:30?
I don't know, going to Hagrid's?
Come on, and we can't be seen.
Hermione!
Hey there, LEGO fans and Potterheads. I'm the lawyer in the LEGO Shed, and this is the 39th in a series of videos that I'll be making as I build my way through the magical world of LEGO Harry Potter. I've been collecting the Harry Potter LEGO line since it started back in 2001 with the release of the very first movie, and for this video series, I'll be building sets that have been part of the more recent waves of Harry Potter LEGO, beginning in 2018 and stopping with the 2023 releases. The plan is to go in movie order, so without further ado, let's get started. Today we're covering set number 76398, Hogwarts Hospital Wing. This set depicts the scene in The Prisoner of Azkaban where Harry and Hermione start their journey back through time in order to save Buckbeak and Sirius Black, leaving Ron behind with his broken leg. Released in 2022, this set has 510 pieces and a total of 4 minifigures, 2 of which are unique to this set. For some historical context, this is the first time this scene has ever been depicted in LEGO form, and the second time that we've seen a LEGO rendition of the hospital wing. The first was actually in set number 75948. That's a set that we'll cover later in this series because it occurs later in time as far as its focus in the movies, but was actually released in, I think, 2020, if I'm not mistaken. So let's do a quick run through of the actual set itself. So aside from our 4 minifigures, which we'll cover in a bit, we have our main castle edition, which is divided into 2 main floors. You can see here, I'll just adjust our camera a bit. The exterior looks great, as does our interior, and we'll kind of start with our interior as far as a walkthrough. On the first floor, we have the hospital ward itself with 3 different beds, a couple little nightstands, and then the accessories that kind of fill out the rest of the space. I'll show you a few of those. We've got a nice little chair over here so that somebody who's coming to visit can see that. We also have this nice little privacy screen with some cute little stickers on it. We have a little tray here with a bunch of medical or potions and things like that. And then we have the actual beds themselves and the nightstands, which you can see here. There's a little chart at the end of the bed that Ron's meant to be in, and then, of course, the little lamps on the nightstands, and then the beds themselves. So kind of a cute little setup there for the actual hospital portion. And then in the upper floor, we have a clockwork mechanism, and it's the back side of the tower, kind of very much in remembrance of those pieces that we saw all the way back from when they did the third movie the first time. So it's nice to kind of see that echoed again, and then that impacts the clock, which we'll see in just a second. And then I've also put the little additional chest and lantern that they gave us up here as well. So that is the interior. If we flip it around to see the exterior, we can see this nice beautiful clockwork portion on the upper floor, and then these nice Gothic windows into the hospital ward itself. Nice little sand green elements to really kind of make the roof feel interesting and the exterior engaging. So there you go. That's the actual set itself. And I just want to talk about some of the things that I ended up really loving. First, that we got a full proper set based upon the hospital wing. Harry ends up in the hospital wing about 6 separate times throughout the series and visits people there several times beyond that. So it's nice to finally see it represented here. I also feel like they did a really good job representing it here. Flipping back around, I just love so many of the little choices that they made. First off, the latticed windows that are in white, definitely kind of giving that light and loft that the hospital wing does tend to have. The inclusion of his little chart at the end of the bed, the way the beds themselves look with the blue blankets, the nightstands with the gold lamps. I mean, this felt like a true love letter to fans that knew these little beats and knew what to look for. And as silly as it is, this little privacy screen, again, just one of those little things that I think really helps round out this whole experience. Something I haven't shown you yet, because I have it with Madame Pomfrey over here, but I'll bring it out now. It's this incredible printed piece, or pieces, I should say, of the Skelegro bottle. And such a cool little element. This is actually the baby minifig head that's been done as a skull, which is super fun. And then a printed rounded element that actually says Skelegro right on it. Such a great little addition there that we can put right on our little medicine cart to continue to round that out. So such a fun inclusion. Yeah, I think all of it just ends up looking very effective. And when we look at 75948, you'll see there's actually quite a few shortcomings on that one that I feel like they have really addressed with this particular rendition. Like I mentioned already, the amount of printed pieces, or the printed pieces that we got here, were really fun. This Skelegro bottle being one of them. And then we also got another Bertie Bott's box. And then we'll see this a little bit later on when we take a look at Hermione in a second, but we actually got a printed element that is the time turner, something we've not ever received before. So fun to have these things that are reminiscent of the full series and something we haven't really seen before. Interestingly, on the clock tower here, this is also a printed element, and this printed element is the same clock face that they used in 75948. So we'll see it again when we take a look at the Hogwarts clock tower set, which is based more on Goblet of Fire, and the Yule Ball itself from Goblet of Fire. So we'll check that out then, but interesting to see that same printed element used again. And then finally, I really like the choice to allow for some of these hinged elements here. So let me just show you how this works. You actually remove this guy so that you can do this. So you can take these out, and just like that, you've got this little ability here to broaden the set so that you can put, some other pieces here. You can kind of make it feel a little more rounded. And then what's really great is what it does to this portion, right? Instead of being a static front, we now have this ability with these hinged pieces to really give a lot of interesting depth and character to an area and a modular system that has been pretty static and pretty, straight lined and in almost on a grid. So it's nice to be able to get that variance there. And this also, for, longtime fans of Lego Harry Potter, these hinged elements were so big in those original sets. And so having the hinge element echoed here again in these 20th anniversary series waves, it's really fun to kind of see that. But yeah, so I liked that element a lot, that choice to allow for that little hinged piece. And then if you didn't want it, you can very easily put it right back, and it goes right back to being just a standard build like before. So super fun. Things that I didn't love, the overall size. It's hard not to compare this set to 75948, given that there's a significant overlap in subject matter, and comparatively, it just would have been nice to see just one more floor. Then it would have felt like a true clock tower set. I know that ends up getting used differently in the actual, mega build that they do for the Hogwarts castle, and this does not serve that same purpose in that build, but I'm just saying that I think for me personally, this would have been nice to see another floor, another thing depicted from the series. I would have liked to have seen that go on. Let's see here. The other thing that I will note as far as not loving, I would also have been nice to see a few more printed pieces. The privacy screen is a sticker, as is the chart here at the end of Ron's bed. So it would have been nice to see both those things printed, especially since they seem like things that could be easily used beyond the Harry Potter series. But yeah, so aside from that little gripe, I think overall, those things that I didn't love are pretty minor when we look at the grand scheme. Okay. So now that we've talked about this, we can slide this over just a little bit and we can talk about our minifigs. Starting first, we're going to go with Harry and Hermione, since they are non-unique to this set. We actually have already seen them too. These exact same versions of Harry and Hermione are the ones from 76407. We just covered it recently. Notably, though, we do have this nice little cast wrist wrap element for Hermione, which is great because she's injured, and so we have a way of conveying that here. And then there's that time turner element. I'll actually drop a picture so you can see it a little bit better, but nice little inclusion here of that printed time turner element for the first time, which is super fun. Harry, unremarkable, exactly the same. But you'll notice that they're both dirty and both a little roughed up after their journey through the tunnel under the Shrieking Shack, or to the Shrieking Shack under the Whomping Willow. Next up, though, we have Ron, and he now finally matches Harry and Hermione. His clothes are a little muddy and disheveled, so it's nice to see that now the trio looks great in that regard. And then very obviously, he's got this nice little cast on him, which, plays a kind of important role in that scene with Dumbledore as he's resting his hand on that. But nice that he's got double printing on his back as well, the mud continuing there. And then even this little walking stick for when he's ready to start getting around the hospital wing. So Ron, I think, looks great, finally matching our other members of the trio and kind of rounding that out. But yeah, not really bothered by the repeat of Harry and Hermione here in as far as getting the trio together, because it would make sense continuously throughout this scene. They are in their same clothing, and these are just different moments of that. So I'm just glad that we finally have all three people in their dirty, rumpled clothing, and we can have that reflected there. Okay, finally, my personal favorite here is Madame Pomfrey. We've never seen her before, and she looks fantastic. She's got so many fun elements. The first being that she's in her white matron's uniform, which has great printing on the top with some nice little detail and accents that are relevant to her costume, from the belt to the little brooch that's there. She's got this great dress printing that goes all the way down, and then we have rear printing as well, which again looks great. The matron's uniform kind of continues through the back, and that belt, and then printing all the way down the dress piece. Again, just looking fantastic. We have these nice dark red arms, and then this custom molded hair piece with her matron's wimple. It just looks really, really fantastic. And then her with the bottle of Skelegro. I think it's just something that's so essential to the Hogwarts lineup of characters, and it's so fun to finally see her represented here. Okay, I think that's it for all the individual pieces here. So let's talk about the overall impression. I really enjoyed this set. It was an entirely new scene for the Harry Potter line. It was a fitting redo of a small hospital wing portion that was done in 75948, and all of the essential elements to recreate the scene that's being referenced here are present, with the one exception of Dumbledore. Even with the shortcomings that I mentioned, this ended up being one of the sets that I was most excited to build from this wave. I had been waiting years to finally be able to build it and see what it was like, and so I was glad that I finally got to do it. That is it for set number 76398, Hogwarts Hospital Wing. And if you are interested in following along on this journey with me, please feel free to give a follow to the account. And if there's anything else that you think that I should be covering in these reviews, go ahead and drop a comment on the video and let me know. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.